Another athlete and another controversy on another network news show. This time, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick is refusing to stand for the national anthem at preseason games. Is it a virtuous act of heroism or a misguided publicity stunt? We turn to ABC World News tonight to find out.
NFL star suddenly at the center of a national debate.
Oh, hello.
Ron Claiborne on why the star player says he's staying on the bench. Before a big game, San Francisco 49er quarterback Colin Kaepernick refusing to stand for the national anthem.
First off, I wouldn't call them big games. There were 3 preseason games, but whatever. Let's hear what all this hullabaloo's about.
ABC's Ron Claiborne on why the star player says he's staying on the bench.
It happened right before the 49ers preseason game against the Green Bay Packers Friday night. San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick sitting alone, surrounded by teammates, as the national anthem was played.
This wide, grainy shot is the best footage they got of Kaepernick's big protest. It almost went unnoticed. I heard it wasn't even a big deal at the time of the games. The news just picked this crap story up to fill their schedule. It's a perfect mix of high-profile athlete, protest, and even a little Black Lives Matter sprinkled in there.
Kaepernick explaining in an interview with NFL media, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people." And
Well, we've got quite the shit sandwich here, don't we? Let's take this concoction apart piece by piece. Colin starts with, "I'm not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country." Looks like he's protesting something by not standing for the national anthem. Standing for the anthem is respectful, but if you don't do it, who cares really? It's not that big of a deal. If you're not standing on purpose like Kaepernick's protest here, you are an asshole, but it's also not this big protesting gesture either. You're just an asshole who has no class and no respect for the country you're standing in. No respect for the country that has given you, Colin Kaepernick, tens of millions of dollars to throw a ball around. No matter what grievances you have, you should at least respect America for that. The next bit is my favorite. A country that oppresses black people. What? What the fuck? Who is the country oppressing, dude? How? I really have no clue what this can mean. My guess is the old institutionalized racism conspiracy theory, where they think everyone in government is racist against blacks, trying to hold them down. It's utter nonsense. Stupid paranoia shit you can never prove. There's certainly no racist laws on the books. There's no openly racist politician in a big power position. The president is fucking black, for Christ's sake.
to me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way.
Here's where Cap starts virtue signaling. He thinks he's being a big hero here. Look at that stupid hat. He really thinks he's like the next Malcolm X or something. Give me a fucking break. Even if his grievances were accurate, sitting for the national anthem isn't gonna help anything. If he really wants to help black people, he should start making real speeches with real ideas that could help the community. He should start a charity or just donate some money to the black neighborhoods. But no, Kaepernick's big plan to help is to not stand for the national anthem, which in turn fuels the stereotype that black people are lazy. Or maybe he was just late. He was really late to stand up for that anthem.
In a clear reference to police shootings of African Americans, he added, "There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder."
Okay, now we're getting closer to what Colin is actually protesting about. It's the recent police shootings that got him all jacked up. I guess he's not aware that those shootings were all justified. Civil, Sterling, and Castile were all criminals carrying weapons when shot. That's why the officers weren't charged. That's why they're on paid leave. As I said before, the cops didn't get away with murder. They got away with self-defense. I guess Kaepernick isn't smart enough or doesn't care enough to find the facts on these shootings. And then he goes and speaks on it publicly after this little protest. Colin, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about here. Whoever told you the country oppressed blacks was wrong. Whoever told you the cops murdered blacks was wrong. Maybe you should stick to throwing passes and calling plays. Leave the politicking to the adults.
NBA stars LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony at this year's ESPYs have spoken out on these events. But Kaepernick's actions carry powerful symbolism.
I think it was better than anything else, like violence. It wasn't violence at all.
What? No violence at all? Yeah, I guess sitting is better than violence, sure. Sounds like you're kind of suggesting there could be violence, kid. At least there wasn't violence. At least there wasn't gunfire. Hey, at least a bomb didn't go off. You want to keep listing things that are worse than what happened? Or do you want to actually talk about it? He sat for the national anthem. Big whoop. Conversation over.
See, if you have personal feelings, you keep it to yourself in your household. Like we call it, when I play ball, in-house. Keep it in-house. You don't do that. You know, it's the face and the flag.
I like this guy. He gets it. Keep your politics to yourself. In-house, as he says. And even if you have problems with the country, you still stand for the anthem at a big event like an NFL game. Colin is just being a dick.
20 years ago, NBA player Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was suspended for 1 game for refusing to stand for the national anthem.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. That's quite a name. I wonder why he didn't stand up for the national anthem 20 years ago. Well, I looked into it, and this guy said he protested the anthem because of America's so-called oppression too. And you know what else Rauf and Kaepernick have in common? They both converted to Islam shortly before protesting the national anthem. Kaepernick just converted over the summer. He's said to be having a full Muslim wedding with his new Muslim girlfriend. Is there perhaps something about Islam that conflicts with America? Or maybe the religion clashes with any nation? Abdul Rauf was quoted as saying, "I'm a Muslim first and I'm a Muslim last." These guys don't even consider themselves Americans. Fuck that.
The NFL says Kaepernick will not be disciplined, and in a statement released tonight said players are encouraged but not required to stand during the playing of the national anthem.
The NFL should have said, "We don't really care who stands for the anthem or not. It's not a big deal. Why are we even talking about this? We barely even noticed Colin wasn't standing. It took 3 games for us to find out."
And Kaepernick, who is biracial, did not say whether he would continue with his protest when the regular season starts.
Thanks for that biracial comment dropped in there, even if it was a little awkward and forced. It is worth mentioning some of Colin Kaepernick's history. His black father abandoned his pregnant white mom who put him up for adoption. Colin was raised by a white family in a white town in the white state of Wisconsin. So by all accounts, Colin was raised in America in a mostly white culture. His only real connection with blacks is the black father who abandoned him before he was born. This makes his national anthem protest even stranger. Now all of a sudden he's a black man standing up for the poor black people who are being oppressed by the evil white government? Nigga, please. Colin Kaepernick is whiter than Mitt Romney in a snowstorm. Kaepernick is so white, he uses cocaine for makeup. Yeah, he is so white, he thought Malcolm X was a porno.
He says if his football career is over, he stood up for what was right, even if a lot of Americans, Cecilia, think otherwise.
Well, that's funny because he's not standing up for what is right. Kaepernick sees the poor state black communities are in the U.S., and that's true, but he blames the cops and the government for black problems. Racism everywhere, he says. No, the problem isn't racism. The problem is the black culture. Black people need to look inward and fix problems in their own communities. Less single mothers having babies and more children raised in balanced 2-parent households is a start. Add better educations from there and many of these kids won't have to turn to crime like others have. Blacks can do this, but first they gotta stop blaming the government. Stop blaming others for your problems. There's no racist conspiracy. You just gotta put in the hard work and black communities could bounce back one day. But for now, just give up the anti-cop and everyone is racist bit. It's getting really fucking old. That's it for ABC and Colin Kaepernick. Basically, Colin's buying into the whole Black Lives Matter narrative hook, line, and sinker. If you've seen his Twitter feed, you'd already know he's a big supporter of this crap. And while I agree, black communities do need help, Black Lives Matter and Colin got the why and how of this problem all screwed up. And you think the why shouldn't even matter at this point. Why blacks got to these levels of crime and poverty is besides the point now. How we go about fixing things is what's most important. And I don't think singing for the national anthem is helping. Just like I don't think calling cops racist is helping. It's time blacks try a new strategy. If they really want to stop getting shot by cops, stop committing crimes. Stop carrying weapons. If Civil didn't have a gun on him, he would be alive today. Sterling and Castile too. Get rid of the guns and you get rid of the deaths. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Until next time, good night, and God bless America. This country fucking rocks. I'll stand for your anthem any day, America. Thanks for everything.